Young people today, they're doing it tough. They're doing it tough, man. There are so many challenges in life. We live in a hypersexualized society. We've got problems with all the political world against, making up names and talking about Muslims in the wrong way. And we hear about other Muslims who are confusing us. We hear about different Islamic information which causes us doubt. We don't know what's right from wrong. Sometimes we have problems. See how I said we? I'm not even a youth anymore. So the youth, they have problems with their family, with their parents. Parents have problems with their children. And then you got school, then you got peers, then you got at work. How are you supposed to hold on to your religion in all these different circumstances? You got social media which bombards you. Pornography is on the high. I remember a friend of mine, it was a colleague, he's a teacher. He says some ex-students sat with him and they said, "Sir, what's the escape? How do I escape?" I said, "Escape to where?" He says, "I don't know, escape. Escape from all these restrictions." They said, "Islam restricts them." So I sat with these young men and I asked them, escape to where? In this life, is there any real freedom? Everything in this life has restrictions and challenges. You go from one thing to another, you're facing another challenge. Restrictions from what? They said, "We want to have a girlfriend. We want to get to know her. We want to get to marry her." I said, "All right, let's say that we take away all the haram away and we say, okay, there's no haram right now. And that you can do whatever you like. What happens then? Are there no problems after that as well?" I mean, think about it. How many campaigns are there? I don't know here in the UK, but in Australia we have a lot of campaigns to help unwanted teenage pregnancies, to manage STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, emotional attachments and problems like that. We've had abortions. Many abortions happen because they're not ready to get married. They're not ready to have a partner like that. There's a lot of use and abuse because there's no strings attached. There are children being born and their fathers run away. They don't want to take any responsibility. They weren't in it for that. Brothers and sisters, there is no escape in this world in any way that we can imagine except in paradise. In paradise is where it is. But I'll tell you what, Islam needs to be understood properly. That's number one. And number two, wallahi, Islam creates an escape from all types of prisons in this world. I'm not talking about the physical prison. I'm not talking about the prison of what people think that, because I can't do this and I can't do that, that means I'm in a prison. No. The prison that is within us. Mental illness is on the rise. Family problems are on the rise. Heartbreaks are on the rise. Listen to what Allah says. He says, وَاللَّهُ يُرِيدُ أَن يَتُوبَ عَلَيْكُمْ وَيُرِيدُ الَّذِينَ يَتَّبِعُونَ الشَّهَوَاتِ أَن تَمِيلُوا مَيْلًا عَظِيمًا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أَن يُخَفِّفَ عَنكُمْ وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Allah says, Allah wants you to return back to Him. Allah wants you to return back to Him. And He wants to accept you. But those who follow their desires and their temptations and other ways, they want to take you away a very far distance away from guidance, to misguidance, to losthood, to misery. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allah wants to lessen the burden off you. He doesn't want to make things worse for you. And man and humans were created weak. Our desires, our temptations, they take over. So everything about our deen, my brothers and sisters, young people, they say, why is everything haram? I'll tell you this little story, it's funny. These young boys, they said to me, "Sir, everything's haram, everything's haram, everything's haram." They go, "We might as well sit at home and do nothing." I said, "Even that's haram." They go, "Haram." I said, "Listen, just take away the second A in haram and you'll understand why it is haram." Haram means harm. Harm. Why is alcohol forbidden? Alcohol is forbidden because of the dangers, the ramifications, the problems that it creates. Did you know that in the world the highest cause of violence, of domestic violence in families is a result of alcoholism? Number one on the list. Alcoholics cause the biggest family violence. Do you know why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbidden fornication and adultery, for example? Once we understand why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that, then we can appreciate it a little bit more and be proud and see that Islam has come to protect us, inshaAllah. And so holding on to it won't be as burdensome anymore, inshaAllah. Allah says in the Quran, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَاحِشَةً وَسَاءَ سَبِيلًا. Do not come close to fornication. Its pathway, it is a dirty act, and its pathway only leads to bad places. It's only going to lead to bad places. You know, my brothers and sisters, I didn't find anything in this world that gives comfort to the heart, that makes me stronger, that really gives you a slap in the face and reads you and tells you to face reality and to know why you're here and where you're going and to find inner peace than reading the Quran. The Quran is a solution, my brothers and sisters, but we have to try and understand it and not just read it like parrots. Try to understand what it's saying. Try to read the translations and interpretations and ask about it. Try to comprehend it as much as we can. And I'll tell you, the Quran comes to save you. Every time you feel lost, every time you feel in doubt, every time you feel confused, just open up the Quran and read a little bit. Make it every day. Every day open it up. This is the first step, inshaAllah. Every day have 10 minutes. Just put 10 minutes aside and read as much as you can. You can't read in Arabic. Read whatever you've memorized. You only know Al-Fatiha. Just recite that by heart 10 times, 20 times. Qul huwallahu ahad. Or you can recite in the English letters if you can't read in Arabic. The point is, connect with the Quran.